Kathleen Ho, Deputy Director for Environmental Health, says 2 crews were out collecting water samples today. Yesterday, the teams collected samples from 5 schools and 1 household.
We're investigating the source, both the Navy and the Department of Health. Our inspector did detect the odor of fuel at Red Hill Elementary and at a Aliamanu Child Center.
Until results of what's in the water are available, Ho's recommendation is for residents that use the Navy's system not to consume tap water.
Meanwhile, the Navy is asking residents in all military housing areas to flush their water lines. Now, you can do that by running the hot and cold water at each location in your house for at least 3 minutes to help move the water through the system and maybe alleviate that odor. Now, the Navy is also flushing several times the main water lines that serve those communities. Right now, the Navy says no petroleum or contaminants have been detected at sites or at wells and tanks.
And the health department estimates about 93,000 people on Oahu use the Navy's water system. People from areas including Aliamanu Military Reservation, Red Hill, and Nimitz Elementary Schools reported concerns with their water to the department. The Deputy Director of Environmental Health reports not all residents in those neighborhoods use water from the Navy.
The source of the water is the aquifer, but there are natural barriers within the aquifer that will separate the 2 sources. So the Navy source is different from the Board of Water Supply source.
Ho says residents who receive a Board of Water Supply bill are not on the Navy's supply.
Now, even with the ongoing actions the Navy is taking, some people are still worried about their health and safety.
And a KITV4's Nicole Tam today visited a family that fled their home temporarily after a concerning discovery.
The Fisher family lives in housing near the military base, but they actually came out here to Eva Beach to stay with Grandma since Sunday when they started noticing a gasoline-like odor in their water.
You don't see anything, but I filled up a cup of warm water and I sniffed it because I was like, there's no way. And it like burned my nose. It smelled very strongly of like a gas smell.
Heather Marie Fisher is still trying to settle down her family and 2 dogs into Mom's 3-bedroom home. She says she feels lucky they can live elsewhere temporarily, but feels there's not enough official updates for residents.
It's really frustrating because I don't even know where to turn to consistently listen to.
Fisher says her 3-year-old son Griffin experienced hives for a few days and believes it's related to the water.
Here, he had a whole ring right here, on his cheeks and on his thighs.
But we couldn't figure out what it was. We didn't change anything. We didn't use any new soaps or lotions or sprays. There was nothing that changed in our environment that we could control.
Physicians have not confirmed health incidents because of the ongoing situation, but the health department admits it's possible symptoms such as nausea and headache could be related to exposure to the water.
We're taking down the all complaints, and we are investigating the sources.
Heather says until there's scientific evidence that proves the water is safe at home, she'll be staying here in Eva Beach with her family. Nicole Tam, KITV4 Island News.
All right, thanks, Nicole. And a Tripler Army Medical Center spokesperson told KITV4 today it is not affected by that water issue. That hospital gets its water from a separate well. A spokesperson also telling KITV4 the hospital has not admitted any patients with possible illnesses related to the water issue.
The Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam Emergency Operations Center is asking residents in military housing who have concerns about their water to call either of the 3 numbers up on your screen. Again, this is for residents of military housing at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam.
Now, meanwhile, the U.S. Army garrison Hawaii is asking Army housing residents who believe there's an issue with their water to call that maintenance line number. That number is 808-457-4075. You can submit a report there. They're also taking Army housing residents who have any health concerns to contact their primary care provider.
Members of Hawaii's congressional delegation today met with Navy Secretary Carlos Del Toro, urging him to take immediate action. Hawaii U.S. Senator Brian Schatz and Mazie Hirono, as well as Congressman Ed Case and Kai Kahele, called on the Navy to provide the community with straightforward communications on all events that occur at Red Hill. The joint statement went on to say, quote, "We made it clear that there is zero tolerance for endangering the health and safety of the public or the environment. Most recently, reports of fuel potentially contaminating the water supply at Joint Base Pearl Harbor Hickam, followed by a slow, inadequate response, are especially troubling."
And be sure and stay with KITV4 for continuing coverage of this fuel-like odor in the tap water around Red Hill on Oahu. We'll continue to bring you the latest updates on air and online as all that new information becomes available. And you can also download our free KITV4 app on your smartphone device. And for Apple users, we actually have a QR code right at the bottom of your screen. You can just pull out your phone and get that right there for quick access to our new KITV4 app.
Well, New Year's Eve is 1 month away, but some residents are already starting their fireworks celebrations early.
Yeah, KITV4's Kristen Concilio joins us live tonight to explain how fireworks enthusiasts are disturbing the peace in many Oahu neighborhoods. And Kristen, some even started Thanksgiving.
Mika, Tom, popping firecrackers is a Hawaii tradition for many families, but others go for more powerful fireworks, and that has residents complaining that year-round popping of illegal fireworks is causing chaos and frustration.
All year round.
DOH says the deafening boom of illegal aerials going off at all hours of the day is common in her hometown of Kalihi.
Closer to Christmas and New Year's, definitely every day at any kind of hours. It could be literally lunchtime and they pop fireworks just for fun.
But doing so is illegal. Oahu outlawed most fireworks a decade ago.
As if there was no ban at all.
She says fireworks scared off the dogs of several close friends. She adds the neighborhood has many seniors and the explosions are disturbing the elderly residents.
Lots of families are complaining about the noise. Not just aerials, but people are popping cannons as well. Homemade cannons, you can hear the difference.
She says the situation's gotten worse during the pandemic.
You know, Hawaii people, they like to joke around and they like to complain about the gas prices, but they can buy fireworks and they're not cheap.
Illegal fireworks ramped up over the Thanksgiving weekend. This was one seen in Waipahu.
It's not even New Year's, not even 4th of July, so go figure.
Kalihi Representative John Mizuno says while dangers of fire and accidents exist, there's no enforcement of illegal popping unless people report their neighbors, and many are reluctant to do so.
You don't have a police officer on every corner of every street. You know, local style, we don't really rat on people, and so it's going to be hard to get a conviction for illegal fireworks.
Representative Mizuno says another problem that's yet to be solved is how illegal fireworks are getting into Hawaii in the first place. Even with the current supply chain issues, there seems to be no shortage of fireworks. Reporting live, Kristen Concilio, KITV4 Island News.
Yeah, Kristen, we definitely see them all over the island. And meanwhile, turning to Maui County Police report during the month of November, it received 7 reports of illegal fireworks. 5 of those incidents were also reported on Molokai. And take a look at the number of reported illegal fireworks on Kauai.
Yeah, this data is from the Kauai Police Department. You can see this month they received 10 reports of illegal fireworks. July saw the highest number with 83 reports. And KITV4 did reach out to the police departments in Honolulu and Hawaii counties for statistics, but we've not yet heard back.
Now, Kauai fire investigators are trying to determine what sparked a fire that destroyed a home in Waimea overnight. Take a look at the damage. The Kauai Fire Department reports the fire at the Pokole Road home caused $150,000 worth of damage. Now, no injuries were reported. That blaze also sparked a nearby brush fire.
And back here on Oahu, a live look outside tonight. A few clouds out there. It's cooled off just a bit, 80 degrees.
And some other places seeing even more clouds and showers. KITV4 meteorologist Paul Drew's in for Pete tonight. He's got a look at our first forecast. Hey, Paul.
Hey, and we could continue to see more wet and unsettled weather moving into parts of the state on our Doppler radar, while we have seen earlier in the day some scattered showers and some stronger showers moving in through other islands. The Big Island right now seeing additional showers move onshore. Light to moderate shower activity and more instability at the southern end of the island chain means we could see additional showers there. Right now, a live lookout over Hilo on the cloudy side with some light showers for Hilo, which has already received more than an inch of rain. On satellite imagery, area of low pressure pulling up high clouds over parts of the state, adding to the cloud cover for tonight, and that will also be with us for tomorrow. A check of what we can expect for the rest of the evening. Breezier trades will be backing off as the night goes on. Cloudy conditions for windward areas with numerous passing trade showers, some of those sticking around into tomorrow morning, with that threat of stronger showers diminishing as the day goes on. And we'll talk more about tomorrow's weather and wetter conditions ahead. Back to you.
Well, turning to coronavirus news, the state today reported 79 new cases of COVID-19, bringing the overall case count to more than 87,600. Here's a breakdown for you by island. There are 36 new cases on Oahu, 26 on Kauai, 11 on Maui, 2 on the Big Island, and 4 residents were diagnosed out of state. There are just under 1,400 confirmed active cases in the islands. The average statewide positivity rate stands at 1.4%, pretty low, and the death toll remains at 1,018.
Meanwhile, nearly 12,000 COVID-19 vaccine shots went into arms here in the islands on Monday. Since vaccinations began in December of 2020, the state reports more than 43,000 non-Hawaii residents received a dose while here in the state. As of today, the state health department reports 76% of all Hawaii residents aged 5 and up are now fully vaccinated against the virus. That accounts for more than 1 million residents. And so far, more than 2.3 million doses of a COVID-19 vaccine have been administered in the islands. It's estimated some 400,000 residents of all ages are not fully vaccinated.
And the state health department is now recommending all vaccinated adults get that COVID-19 vaccine booster shot. That announcement coming after the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued some stronger guidelines just yesterday. More than 233,000 third doses have now been administered here in Hawaii so far. Those who are fully vaccinated with the Pfizer or the Moderna vaccine should get that booster shot at least 6 months after you got the second shot. And if you got the single-dose Johnson & Johnson shot, you should get that booster dose at least 2 months after that initial shot.
Well, renting a car at Honolulu's airport will soon become much more convenient.
Yeah, coming up on KITV4 Island News, we're going to be live with a first look at this brand new multi-million-dollar facility that's opening up tomorrow.
Plus, the state releases its latest economic report. Is Hawaii on track with what was expected? We'll be right back.
You're watching KITV4 Island News.
Welcome back. If you've been to the airport, you've probably seen all the construction going on, wondering what's happening. Well, a new rental car facility at the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport is now set to welcome customers.
KITV4's Jeremy Lee is live at the airport with the latest from the site of today's dedication. And Jeremy, it's been several years in the making.
That's right, Mika and Tom. This brand new rental car facility isn't fully operational today, but it will be tomorrow. As for today, that was about opening ceremonies and really dedicating the hard work that amounted to the last 5 years before the facility's completion. Several individual buses shuttling new arrivals to the rental car counter at Honolulu Airport will soon be a thing of the past.
So there's no brand that will pick you up. You just catch the consolidated bus here.
Or, as Ross Higashi of the Hawaii Department of Transportation says, if you arrive at Terminal 2, you can even just walk across the street. That alone will cut down on the airport's carbon footprint.
The first sound that our guests will hear when they come out of that elevator or escalator will be this little fresh rainwater that's falling behind us.
That was the vision Kahu Cordell Kakoa invoked with his blessing. The $377 million Consolidated Rental Car Facility, or CONRAC, is finally a reality after its construction began back in 2016. The project was funded by a $4.50 fee applied to car rentals. Governor David Ige touted the net positives of the project now that it's completed.
It creates economic opportunity for our communities by putting people to work, and also by increasing capacity for on-site services and creating more jobs here on the facility. The Honolulu CONRAC totals 1.8 million square feet.
And you really have to be here in person to see the scale of this place. There are 4,600 rental car spaces in the facility. This marks the last phase of a $2.6 billion state project that was dedicated to airport modernization. Reporting it live at Daniel K. Inouye International Airport, Jeremy Lee, KITV4 Island News.
Thanks, Jeremy, for that live report. U.S. senators are calling on major airlines to testify about recent mass flight cancellations. The Senate Commerce Committee's invited 7 airline executives to testify at a hearing next week. Airlines received billions in federal aid and loans in exchange for keeping employees on the job during the COVID-19 pandemic. Some companies, including American and Southwest, canceled hundreds of flights this year, stranding masses of passengers.
And some good news, Hawaii's economy is actually doing better than expected. That's according to a new 2021 fourth quarter report that just came out from the Department of Business, Economic Development and Tourism. This year's economic growth projection was revised to 3.9%, going up from the 2.7% that was previously projected back in August. Now, that's mainly due to more than expected tax revenue coming in from retail sales, totaling nearly $10 billion, the second largest amount in history. Now, the department says in the second half of this year, the economic growth was negatively impacted by the Delta variant, which did slow around our tourism recovery, among other sectors.
Honolulu's new city auditor starts her new job tomorrow. Arushi Kumar says one of her long-term goals is to increase the public awareness of the kind of work that the city auditor's office does. She also wants to make sure the government is spending money and creating programs that best serve the people of Honolulu. Kumar succeeds acting city auditor Troy Shimasaki, who had served in the role since 2019.
Well, you know, we live in an outdoor wonderland, and you never know what might pop up on Hawaii shores from under the sea.
That's right. Still to come, a purple snail is stumping beachgoers in Kailua. We'll show you the creature that has them scratching their heads and what experts say it could be.
And a live look, meanwhile, over windward Oahu. A beautiful sky out there this hour. Partly cloudy for Kaneohe, the wind's going down. And Paul's here to tell you about whether the trades will be light or heavy tomorrow.
Well, both our trade winds and the threat of heavy rain will be dropping for our Wednesday. I'll have that forecast for you coming up in just a moment. But before we head to break, take a look at the dark gray clouds spotted over Hilo today. Stella 50 spotted some of the stormy weather moving over East Hawaii. Thanks for this island pick.
All right, welcome back. Time now 6:21. Look at this beautiful sunset out there. A nice little moment of zen for you. A live look out at Waimea Bay on Oahu's north shore. But beneath the water, do have something to tell you about. The State Health Department issuing a brown water advisory for the bay due to some heavy wave action. Now, contaminated water may have entered the ocean. So right now the public is advised to make sure if you head out there, if it is brown, don't go in the water.
And from the beaches to the mountains, let's turn it over to the Big Island. Snow spotted atop Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea this morning. Check out these photos. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park has temporarily closed the Mauna Loa summit overnight for use because of the winter weather conditions there. The park will consider reopening the summit tomorrow. Paul, send it over to you.
And cooler conditions across the state, not just on the summits. The wet weather that caused additional showers moving through also responsible for that snow. And let's take another look at what's been happening atop Mauna Kea. This, the view from the observatories, and you can see that dusting of snow. You can also see some of those light showers that moved through that section of the Big Island earlier today. While central spots on the Big Island seeing light showers throughout the day, some stronger showers now moving in, and once again instability at the southern end of the island chain helping to enhance these showers, and that's why we're seeing areas of yellow and red which indicate stronger showers moving in, and we'll continue to see that in the overnight hours and into tomorrow. Other spots around the state have also seen some scattered showers, including some heavier rain throughout the day for Mount Waialeale as well as for Manoa on Oahu, getting about 1.5 inches of rain. Again, some stronger showers at the southern end of the island chain, and our best bet for those showers both tonight and tomorrow for the Big Island and Maui. Our cloud and rain forecast shows scattered showers in the forecast for tomorrow as our winds drop. We're keeping an eye on an approaching cold front that is expected to move down the island chain on Friday. That'll bring with it wetter weather. We'll see the frontal showers move through. May get a little break from that by the end of Friday for our northern islands, but then wetter weather expected over the weekend as moisture lingers around the state and we continue to see south and southwesterly winds. But for tomorrow, what we're expecting, light east and east southeasterly winds. Those winds down to about 10 to 15 miles an hour. Again, we'll start things off with a few morning trade showers, and for the southern end of the island chain, a few stronger showers. Leeward areas on the partly cloudy side, and once again, a few more clouds into the forecast by the evening. Afternoon high temperatures forecast to warm up into the mid-80s. Today, take a look at the numbers. It's expected to be a little bit cooler, but Kapolei up to 87 degrees and Kahului up to 89 degrees. Unusually warm for today. I want to give you an update over in the Western Pacific while we are ending our hurricane season. A tropical system we're keeping an eye on, severe tropical storm Yato. This one to the west of Guam, expected to intensify into a typhoon as it recurves off to the north and east around the Marianas. Coming back to our islands, we're not going to see much surf from that system, but we've got more waves on the way. We've got a big swell coming in over the weekend for our north and western shores. For tomorrow, 6 to 8 feet for northern beaches out west, 4 to 6 feet. And once again, taking a look over the next few days, winds will remain light as that front gets closer to the islands. It will turn our winds more westerly. We'll see frontal showers move through, and then thanks to those south and southwesterly winds, more moisture being pulled up and over the state, which means wetter weather for Saturday and stronger showers for Sunday and Monday. That's what's going on weather-wise. Back to you, Denise.
Thank you, Paul. Well, hurricane season ends today, and this year, as predicted, was a less busy storm season.
Yeah, always good news. Don't want any hurricanes hitting the islands. And just to kind of recap the season, it actually started early in the eastern Pacific with Tropical Storm Andres forming before the official start. Now, Mexico was hit with numerous storms early on, but the first one to cross over into central Pacific waters, that was Hurricane Felicia. We heard about that one over the summer. That one died soon after. Tropical Storm Jimena also reached the central Pacific, but also fell apart. That was also the case for Hurricane Linda, which at one time actually reached Category 4 strength. That was probably maybe the closest we saw heading to our area, but then it encountered some cooler waters around Hawaii and fizzled out as a tropical system. Linda, though, did leave some impact on the state. You probably remember all that heavy rain that we had at the end of August. For the rest of the season, though, the activity just stayed in the eastern Pacific where the waters remained warmer.
We had two last year, but one of those two was Hurricane Douglas that passed just a few dozen miles north of the state. We were very lucky with that one. So just because it's a quiet hurricane season doesn't mean we can't see impacts in the state.
Now, while we are headed out of hurricane season, we are into wet season here in Hawaii, and John adds that one of the typical impacts of the cooler waters around the islands, that means more rain in the state during the winter.
Well, scientists say by the end of the century, tropical cyclones in Asia could have double the destructive power as they do now. Researchers say climate change is partially to blame for this. The study published in Frontiers in Earth Science looked at data across nearly 4 decades. It found stronger landfalling cyclones lasting longer and tracking further inland.
All right, well, we love a good mystery, and a beach phenomenon was solved tonight. Take a look. Hundreds of these creatures washed up on Kailua Beach this week. Look at that. It stumped a lot of beachgoers. Take a look. The Hawaii Department of Land and Natural Resources says they're actually violet snails. They eat man-o-war and create a raft out of bubbles in order to float. Wow, that takes a lot of skill, and their shells are very thin and brittle. The DLNR says recent high winds actually blew a number of these snails onto shore.
Glad that mystery is solved.
Yeah.
Well, as some islands are loosening restrictions, the Garden Isle is moving a little bit slower.
Yeah, coming up on KITV4 Island News at 6, why Kauai County is taking a little bit more cautious approach compared to some of the other parts of the state. Those stories and more coming up.
Now, covering all of Hawaii, this is KITV4 Island News.
Time now 6:30 to our top 4 headlines on KITV4 Island News at 6.
The Navy has hastily scheduled several town hall meetings starting at 7 o'clock tonight for the housing communities that have been impacted by this ongoing water issue. The State Department of Health is investigating what many are describing as a fuel-like odor in their drinking water, and they're recommending that residents avoid using the Navy water system. We'll have much more on this developing story on KITV4 Island News tonight.
Residents in some Oahu communities are frustrated by the use of illegal fireworks. They complain about loss of sleep and the impact on family pets, especially outside the usual holiday window for permitted fireworks.
Well, the new rental car facility at the Daniel K. Inouye International Airport is set to open up tomorrow. Construction of the spacious new facility cost more than $350 million. It's all part of a years-long airport modernization project.
And a fire in Waimea on Kauai destroys a home. The Kauai Fire Department reports the fire at the Pokole Road home caused $150,000 damage. No injuries were reported.
And turning to your latest COVID-19 news, the focus is now on this new Omicron variant. Health experts say booster shots will offer a level of protection from that new strain. But as ABC's Ike Jochi shows us, there's still a lot more to learn.
Caitlin, it's also
the nation's top health experts are doubling down, saying now is not the time to panic about the Omicron variant.
This new variant is a cause for concern, but not panic.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says the new variant is indeed spreading across the globe. Tuesday, it's been detected in at least 20 countries, a number he says will likely grow.
This is not Delta. It's something different. And these mutations have been associated with increased transmissibility.
And now, the World Health Organization is advising people ages 60 and up, as well as those with comorbidities such as heart disease, cancer, and diabetes, to postpone all travel. But scientists say the vaccines and booster shots are efficient in offering protection against this new variant, the CDC expanding its recommendations for getting a booster shot. The agency now says everyone 18 and older should get a booster 6 months after their second dose of Pfizer or Moderna, or 2 months after their Johnson & Johnson single-shot vaccines.
We don't know everything we need to know yet about the Omicron variant, but we know that vaccination is a safe and effective way to protect yourself.
The president promising all 3 vaccine makers are preparing to update their vaccines to accommodate the Omicron variant if necessary. ABC News learning that in the coming days, Pfizer plans to ask the FDA to expand access to its booster to include 16 and 17-year-olds. But with hospitalizations climbing more than 20% across the country, communities around the nation are preparing for the worst. In New York City, a successful mobile vaccination campaign is being reintroduced to hundreds of schools across the city. This time, they're doing second doses.
We were kind of in a strange limbo where adults were vaccinated, but the kids weren't, so it's nice to finally get them vaccinated as well.
And right now, there are 100 million adults eligible for the COVID vaccine who haven't yet gotten the shot. Ike Jochi, ABC News, Washington.
Advisors to the Food and Drug Administration voted today to recommend emergency use authorization for a pill made by Merck to help treat COVID-19. The pill is said to treat patients who are at risk of developing severe symptoms. To be effective, people would need to take multiple pills several times a day for 5 days. And the company reports the pill reduces the risk of hospitalization or death by 30%.
Well, members of the National Guard who are not vaccinated will not get paid. That's the warning tonight from U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. Austin says unvaccinated members will not be allowed to participate in training, drills, and deployments. National Guard members have until June of next year to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Now, KITV4 reached out to the Hawaii National Guard for their vaccination date. A spokesperson says the National Guard Bureau doesn't allow local offices to release that data.
A labor group is calling on the federal government to investigate Amazon over allegations that the company massively underreported COVID-19 cases contracted at work. Out of at least 20,000 employees who tested positive last year, Amazon reports just 27 were contracted while employees were at work. Amazon calls the claims intentionally misleading and says more than $15 billion have been spent to keep employees safe.
Well, as the new Omicron variant raises uncertainty around the world, Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi says Oahu is in good shape. Today, the mayor told KITV4 Oahu is moving ahead with some loosened restrictions starting tomorrow. And he says just like the federal government here on Oahu, they're also taking a wait-and-see approach when it comes to this new variant.
At this point, we have nothing to fear, and I think in the spirit of where we are right now, what we've promised everybody is we will be alert, we will be nimble if we had to be, but right now it's all out celebrating with the holidays and being safe and caring for each other and doing everything that we ask people to do.
Now, so far, that new variant hasn't been detected anywhere in Hawaii or the U.S. mainland.
Kauai Mayor Derek Kawakami is increasing social gathering limits, but he's not getting rid of those limits altogether. The mayor said effective tomorrow, indoor gatherings will be limited to 40 people and outdoor gatherings limited to 100 people. Any gatherings over those limits require an event organizer to ensure all attendees are either vaccinated or test negative for COVID-19 within 24 hours of the start of the event. Now, starting tomorrow, Kauai restaurants can operate at full capacity. Violators face fines between $250 and $500.
And starting tomorrow on the Big Island, Hawaii County Mayor Mitch Roth is allowing indoor social gatherings up to 25 people and gatherings outdoors up to 100 people. Now again, violators do face fines between $250 and $500.
And starting tomorrow in Maui County, restaurants and bars can return to full capacity without physical distancing requirements. However, customers must be fully vaccinated against the virus, test negative within 48 hours, or have a signed letter from a medical provider confirming full recovery from COVID-19. Maui County Mayor Michael Victorino is also lifting all outdoor restrictions starting tomorrow. Indoor commercial events planned for more than 75 participants will still require an exemption from the county.
All right, Mika, sometimes, it's just one of those days you got to just get up and bust a move.
Brain injury, brain damage, brain health. So high blood pressure manifests itself everywhere in our body.
Coming up after the break, the new campaign aimed at keeping your blood pressure down as your age creeps up.
You're watching KITV4 Island News.
Get up and dance. That is a message behind a new national campaign encouraging high-risk adults to improve their blood pressure. KITV4's Diana Ko finds out how busting a move will help seniors keep aging well.
Get down on the dance floor to keep your blood pressure from going up.
High blood pressure silently affects millions of Americans.
This new public service announcement from the American Heart Association, American Medical Association, and the Ad Council wants people to dance for their health.
Almost half of the United States
have high blood pressure. That's over 121 million people have high blood pressure. And we know, as Dr. Lawrence says, less than half of them are under control.
That's why staying active is important.
Anything you can do to be active is going to be beneficial. Dancing is one thing because it brings people together and it brings joy into people's lives. And that alone can help bring your blood pressure down.
Get it, slip it, cuff it, check it.
The other part of the message asks people to check their own blood pressure at home.
Self-monitoring is power.
In this pandemic, people are afraid to go to the doctor's office. So it's particularly important that we get an accurate blood pressure that can be communicated through the doctor without necessarily going to the office. As you get older, that your risk of having high blood pressure increases. So it's important to initiate and to think about hypertension in young folks, but also recognize that more than 80% of elderly folks have high blood pressure.
If untreated, high blood pressure can be damaging.
It leads to stroke. When high blood pressure impacts the heart, it manifests itself as a weakening of the heart or developing coronary artery disease, and that can lead to congestive heart failure. It causes kidney disease.
Health experts are especially concerned about communities with a lot of people of color.
If you have high blood pressure and it's poorly controlled, you're more likely to be hospitalized from due to COVID. You're more likely to die from COVID. We know that the rates of hospitalization and death are greater for people who are not white in this country, for people who are for the population of Hawaii as well.
That's why medical experts hope to see more people get down to keep their high blood pressure down. Diana Ko, KITV4 Island News.
A pioneer in Oahu politics has died. Former Honolulu Mayor Eileen Anderson passed away earlier this month at the age of 93. Anderson made history as the first and to this day only woman to hold the office of mayor of Honolulu. She served a single term from 1981 to 1985. Current Honolulu Mayor Rick Blangiardi today called Anderson a terrific role model for young girls and an underdog who dreamed big to rise to the top post.
And turning now to the Big Island, a Kapa'au man is behind bars tonight accused of beating his mother over the weekend. Hawaii County prosecutors charged 36-year-old Nicholas Rasmussen with 6 offenses, including felony abuse of a family member, assault, theft, and terroristic threatening. He's also accused of preventing a victim or witness from calling 911. Now, at the time of this alleged incident, court documents show Rasmussen was already on probation for skipping bail and criminal property damage. Rasmussen remains behind bars on $24,000 bail. He's expected back in court again tomorrow.
And Honolulu police need your help identifying a burglary suspect. HPD released this surveillance video today. Police say this man broke into the High Life Vapor shop on Farrington Highway in Waianae on November 17th. He broke a window, took merchandise, and then left. He was wearing a green jacket, black shorts, a black cap, black mask, and had a black backpack. Anyone with any information is asked to call Honolulu Crime Stoppers at 808-955-8300.
Well, today, CNN suspended indefinitely anchor Chris Cuomo there on the left, pending a review into how he helped his brother there on the right, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, when Andrew was facing sexual harassment charges. The network says that some new transcripts released by the New York Attorney General's office revealed Chris had a bigger role in the case than they knew about. Now, Chris anchored Monday night after the documents were released, but didn't discuss the matter.
Meanwhile, a familiar face is joining the race for Pennsylvania U.S. Senate. TV personality Dr. Oz announced today he's running as a Republican. The Ohio native went to medical school at the University of Pennsylvania and joins at least 2 other Republican opponents.
Well, after 3 decades of service, 2 Hawaii wardens officially retired today. That's Halava Correctional Facility Warden Scott Harrington and Kauai Community Correctional Center Warden Neil Wagatsuma. Current HCF Deputy Warden Lyle Antonio and KCCC Corrections Supervisor Jerry Jonah will temporarily step in as acting wardens until official recruitment for those positions open up.
And on Kauai, police teamed with county and state agencies to clear a homeless encampment in Kaiakea across from the Kealiakai Lookout. The area has been the site of multiple crimes since 2020. The months-long cleanup effort resulted in the removal of more than 500 used syringes and other drug paraphernalia. Kauai police also say at least 4 people overdosed on drugs, resulting in at least 2 deaths at the encampment.
Well, we had Black Friday, Cyber Monday, now Giving Tuesday.
That's right. Coming up next, we'll show you some of the great causes locally here in Hawaii, hoping to get a boost this holiday season. We'll be right back.
You're watching KITV4 Island News.
Welcome back. Today is Giving Tuesday. It's an annual nationwide event aimed at highlighting ways to give back to your community.
Yeah, last year around $2.5 billion was donated to nonprofits across the U.S. And KITV4's Eddie Dowd has a look at how organizations right here in Hawaii are hoping to benefit.
Giving Tuesday is a worldwide event with chapters all across the globe taking part in it. We checked out just a few of the many nonprofits and organizations here in Hawaii doing good work to help out the community and hoping to get an economic boost from it.
Our first stop took us to the Hawaii Food Bank, where staff are working to make sure no one goes hungry this holiday season.
They can come volunteer, help us to inspect the food that comes in for donations. And they can advocate. When you see our social media post, repost it.
Then it was off to the Salvation Army right down the road, where the nonprofit is fundraising during the holidays to support social outreach programs.
We have bell ringers in Walmart stores and Sam's Club, Times Supermarket, we have Safeway.
Our trip then took us Mauka to the Hawaii Nature Center, where staff say the next 4 weeks typically bring in a third of the money they get from donations for the entire year.
Opportunities like the Giving Tuesday throughout the end of the year and our end of the year campaign, we're optimistic that the community will continue to support us.
Our final stop took us to Oahu's east side, where we talked to one organization working to protect Hawaii's coastlines.
For Giving Tuesday, everything matters. So whether you can make a financial donation of all sizes, $5 makes a difference. If 1,000 people donate $5, it keeps adding up and adding up. But also just what you do in your daily life is how you contribute on Giving Tuesday. Stop using so much plastic. Think about those daily choices so that we can stop plastic pollution before it actually starts.
Showing that giving can come in many different forms. Eddie Dowd, KITV4, Island News.
You'll love to see people giving back, and you still got a couple more hours on Tuesday if you want to donate. We'd love to see it. All right, well, meanwhile, turning to surf, the Michelob Ultra Pure Gold Haleiwa Challenger competition was called off for today. The contest organizers will just make another call at 7:30 tomorrow morning to decide whether day 3 of that competition will go on again tomorrow.
Well, coming up on KITV4 Island News tonight, communities concerned about the smell coming from their water.
Yeah, tonight we're going to hear from a lawmaker searching for answers and those residents who still don't know where to turn.
Plus, preparing for in-person appointments. The Labor Department opens its doors after nearly 2 years. We'll tell you what you can expect before walking in. That's on KITV4 Island News tonight.
And when we come back, Paul's got a final check of your weather.
Plus, we'll tell you why The Rock and Adele are both trending tonight. We'll be right back.
Another shot of the snowy conditions atop Mauna Kea. Donna Carey shows us what Hilo looked like earlier today. Again, light showers and snow atop Mauna Kea, but some stronger showers moving into the south and eastern side of the Big Island right now. And lots of moisture down to the south and east of the state. An area of low pressure will continue to make things more unstable and send more clouds and showers over the southern end of the island chain. We've also seen some of those high-level clouds over other parts of the state, making for a cloudy night tonight. As we look through that cloud cover and take a look at the forecast, we'll continue to see some passing trade showers overnight and into tomorrow morning. The threat of stronger showers, though, diminishing after the morning. And for leeward areas, overall, a partly cloudy day with afternoon high temperatures into the mid-80s. You'll also feel those winds dropping. Lighter winds in the forecast, easterly trades 10 to 20 miles an hour, possibly turning a bit more east-southeasterly by the end of the day. Tom, back to you.
All right, thanks, Paul. Well, Hot Wheels with a touch of Hawaii, a megastar taking up residence in Vegas, also Hawaii adjacent, and The Rock in a record-setting movie. KITV4's Bill Brennan takes a look at what's trending tonight.
Toy maker Mattel trending tonight, teaming up with actor and surfer Evan Mock to come up with a Hawaii version of Hot Wheels. The black pickup with the surfboard and the flag. Adele trending tonight. She's the latest star to take up residency in Vegas. The Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter announcing today she'll be at Caesars doing Weekends with Adele from January 21st through April 16th.
Hello, boys. It's so nice to finally meet you in person.
And trending tonight on CNN, The Rock, who stars alongside Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot in the film Red Notice, which is now Netflix's most-watched movie of all time, bringing in 328.8 million viewing hours, topping 2018's Bird Box, which starred Sandra Bullock. Red Notice still in the top 10 in 94 countries. I'm Bill Brennan, and that's what's trending tonight.
They definitely nailed it with the Hot Wheels, not the lifted Toyota truck.
I know. So true.
All right. Well, this year's a list of trending pet names is out.
That's right. According to Rover.com, a network of pet sitters and dog walkers, topping the list is Fauci. It looks like many dog owners are keeping one of the nation's top doctors close to home. COVID and Zoom rounded out the top 3 for trending names. Honorable mentions also went to the names Pfizer, Vax, and Dolly Parton.
I got to draw the line at COVID. I'm not going to name my dog COVID.
Stress me out a little bit every time.
Stewie's a popular name, too.
Thank you.
Yes.
I guess I kept it creative. Not one of the trending names.
All right. Well, thanks for being a part of Hawaii's only hour-long 6 p.m. newscast.
Hope to see you right back here at 10 o'clock tonight. Aloha.